The 2023 Honda CR-V shows up with an entirely different look all around, the better-to-do fight in the ruthlessly cutthroat smaller SUV fragment. With more excellent extents and more traveler space, the recently planned CR-V has proactively dazzled us, procuring another 10 Best Trucks and SUVs grant for 2023. Its inside has an alluring plan roused by the urban minimized vehicle and is supplemented by current tech, incorporating an infotainment framework with an accessible 9.0-inch touchscreen that has remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Obviously, every CR-V likewise has a large group of standard driver helps that incorporate versatile journey, vulnerable side observing, and path-keeping help. A 190 horsepower Super 4 is the standard motor, a 204 horsepower half-breed powertrain is discretionary. Both can be matched with front or all-wheel drive, and regardless of which motor you pick, the CR-V conveys an agreeable ride and certain, while perhaps not precisely intriguing, street habits. The 2023 CR-V starts off the reduced SUV's sixth era. With it comes a huge number of upgrades. It's bigger by and large, sports new outside styling, and has a roomier inside with a more refined plan and fancier highlights. Honda has modified the CR-V arrangement for 2023, refining it into 5 trim levels. The LX, X, and XL are gas-just models. The game half-breed and game visiting crossover come solely with the mixture powertrain, and those are the two we'd suggest most. The front-wheel drive CR-V half and half game is enticing. It comes at a sensible $33,695 beginning cost and conveys an EPA-assessed 43 miles per gallon in the city, beating the Toyota RAV4 crossover's city rating, and it accompanies snappy dark outside complements, dark 18-inch wheels, and a calfskin-wrapped guiding wheel. The game-visiting crossbreed is more costly yet comes standard with all-wheel drive and a large group of extravagance includes that truly lift the experience. Behind the CR-V's upstanding grille is a standard 190 horsepower turbocharged 1.5-litre 4-chamber. It matches with a CVT and either front or all-wheel drive. This arrangement is standard on the LX, X, and XL models. The endlessly sport visiting just accompany the crossover powertrain, which coordinates a 2.0-litre 4-chamber with 2 electric engines for a joint all-out of 204 ponies. While the game can be had with front or all-wheel drive, the last option is standard on the game visiting. At our test track, the game visiting crossover hit 60 miles per hour in a decent 7.9 seconds. Each CR-V has slope plummet control that adjusts the smaller SUV's speed on steep or elusive downfalls while going at low paces. Most models are fitted with a bunch of 18-inch wheels, with the game wearing dark ones. The game visiting gets restrictive 19 inches that are likewise painted dark. The mixture models are appraised to tow £1,000 interestingly. While it misses the mark on dealing with thrills we love in the Mazda CX-50 and the Volkswagen Tiguan, the new CR-V gives a smooth ride and enough spunk to abstain from being exhausting. The CR-V's attractive inside plan is featured by a honeycomb finished embed traversing the greater part of the scramble, watchfully concealing the air vents. The guiding wheel approaches a somewhat computerized measure group with a simple speedometer and a 7.0-inch show that permits the driver to trade between various instructive menus. Honda says the front seats are intended to diminish driver exhaustion on lengthy excursions and that the new CR-V's driving position has been gotten to the next level. Between the front seat travelers is an enormous mid-control area canister, and behind them are leaning back secondary lounges with an extra 0.6-inch of backleg room contrasted and the active CR-V. There are 36 cubic feet of freight space behind the subsequent line and 39 solid shapes on gas-just models with the movable burden floor in its most reduced position. The CR-V's infotainment framework works through a 7.0-inch touchscreen on the LX, X, and game trim levels. The arrangement highlights actual volume and tuning handles as well as Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The XL and game visiting models have a 9.0-inch touchscreen with remote Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. While the greater showcase does exclude a tuning handle, there is a volume handle that goes with the implicit route, in addition to 2 USB-C ports for backseat travelers and remote cell phone charging. The individuals who need the 12-speaker Bose sound framework should jump on the first-in-class Savvy game visiting. The Savvy's powertrain choice is a 190 horsepower 1.5-liter gas motor against a 204 horsepower mixture unit comprising of a 2.0-liter and 2 electric engines. The front-wheel drive Savvy with the turbocharged 1.5-liter 4-chamber gets CPA evaluations of 28 miles per gallon city and 34 miles per gallon throughway, while the most eco-friendly Savvy is the front-wheel drive Game half-breed, which accomplishes 43 miles per gallon city and 36 miles per gallon expressway. Honda prepares each 2023 Savvy with a boatload of standard driver help innovation. Alongside recently standard vulnerable side observing, the smaller SUV presently accompanies a driver consideration screen, traffic sign acknowledgement, and a secondary lounge update. Key well-being highlights include standard forward crash advance notice and robotized crisis slowing down, standard path keeping help and path takeoff cautioning, and standard versatile voyage control. There's nothing especially extraordinary about the Savvy's restricted and powertrain guarantees. Both incorporate inclusion periods equivalent with most contenders. Then again, Honda will begin offering free booked support on 2023 models, which incorporates the new Savvy. Restricted guarantee covers 3 years or 36,000 miles. Powertrain guarantee covers 5 years or 60,000 miles. Free planned upkeep is covered for quite some time or 24,000 miles.